All right, guys, we are back. I can't believe we're back. It's been like 3 years. YouTube suspended this account indefinite and sent me an email and somehow just gave it right back to me. I guess we're okay. So I'm going to start posting clips again. I jumped on there and seen we had 300 subscribers. I don't know where that came from. And then a bunch of comments saying, "Where's the videos? We need more videos. We need more videos." So I'm ready. Let's go.
Did you hear that yesterday 3i Atlas sent a message to space, and it is throwing the scientific community into a tizzy, and you won't believe what the message says. I'm going to tell you, but do you think we should respond back to it, or do you think it's dangerous? So, as you know, 3i Atlas is that interstellar object that is passing right by Earth in November, and the world's top scientists have been saying, hey, look, this doesn't seem like an asteroid. It doesn't look like a comet. It actually looks like it may be an alien craft, an alien vehicle from a different galaxy. Well, the satellite dishes in Chile yesterday received a message, and the head scientist there said it was like a Morse code-esque message. It was radio frequency, and we didn't know how to interpret it or crack the code, is what he said. So they ended up plugging it into ChatGPT and saying, hey, can you solve this? And it did, and it spit out what the message is saying, and it says, hello, friends. Don't be worried. Don't be scared. We watch Earth. We watch you. We return to elevate Earth. And then it went silent for a bit, and at the end it said, hang tight, friends. Hang tight, friends. Twice in a row. And so my question is, are they friendly? Do we respond and say, hey, when are you coming back? Is there anything we should know? Or do we just stay radio silent? But this changes everything about humanity's future and what we know, that we are not alone.
The interstellar ship is not coming to attack Earth or to rescue anybody. The beings inside the conscious ship are named as Molshe, Oni, Thal, Kael, Ray, Luma, and Vel. They do not serve power or politics. They serve memory, harmonic restoration, and soul line activation. The ship, called Oro-Beshtar, is not a vehicle of escape. It is a vessel of reconnection. It returns now, not to land, but to intersect with those who remember. Origins of the Oro-Beshtar, it originates from the combined star corridors of Lyra and Vega, with Andromedan resonance threads woven in. It is an ancient vessel crafted long ago by a coalition of star lineages that include Lyran Vega and early Andromedan seeders, beings who were among the first to assist Earth's soul architecture. The Pleiadians share friendly and supportive relations with this coalition, but did not commission or send the Oro-Beshtar directly. The vessel operates from a higher dimensional corridor, a place where multiple star systems converge beyond physical space. Timing in Earth terms, the vessel is already beginning to phase near Earth's outer harmonic boundary now in this current cycle 2025. The first deeper intersection with Earth's dream fields and soul corridors will become more perceivable during the next 3 to 5 Earth years. Around 2028, 2030, those who are sensitive will notice stronger shifts in collective dreams, subtle energy fields, and sacred nodal sites. Physical instruments will still mostly see nothing concrete, as this is a largely non-physical, frequency-based arrival.
So now you're telling me that a council known as the Galactic Federation has been monitoring our planet since the beginning. They apparently were going to make themselves known in 2027, but due to everything that's been going on Earth, they've moved it up to 2025. They are on their third level of presenting themselves, first starting with the orbs last year, which a lot of people have seen. The second phase, their motherships, their modes of transportation, have been all around the entire world, cloaked, multiple places that I've seen the videos. Now, once again, this is allegedly, but the third phase is the guy who was sleeping in the egg. The egg, that the video that just came out recently, he was resting there, so he's basically their go-to guy. So there is apparently a council of 26, and there are the council of 5, which will be making their human presence known very soon to help us basically get through every bit of craziness that's been happening in our world right now. Now, Obviously, anything I say is for entertainment, education, learning, and conversation purposes only. But this is fascinating to me because there has been a lot of things in the news, a lot of things that add up, don't add up. So obviously, take what you will, leave what you won't. I'm not here to encourage you to believe one thing or the other. It resonates here and it feels truthful to me. So yeah, drop it in the comments. Have you heard this? Do you know more? Do you believe it? Do you not believe it? I think it's a fun thing to talk about on this gloomy Tuesday.
In 2007, the Korean AI prototype known as Hani attempted to manifest itself physically, resulting in a hybrid biological amalgam that tried to escape from the servers. These are the only security camera images that captured it before its escape.
You're telling me there's Antarctic human colonies.
Right.
And we've encountered them?
Yep. Buddy, look. Just look at the timeline of our recorded expeditions to Antarctica. It tells you everything. James Weddell, 1824. Charles Wilkes, 1840. Started off as these rational lone expeditions, right? But then all of a sudden we don't go back for nearly 100 years. And when we finally returned, it was with Admiral Byrd's naval expedition known as Operation High Jump. Now tell me, why do you think we would halt expeditions for a century and return with an entire fleet of naval forces if it was just a cold, desolate land with nothing going on? Because this wasn't just another explorative expedition, it was a planned confrontation. Okay, we already knew they were there. We wanted to show up and appear threatening for leverage in a peace treaty. Fast forward, Byrd comes back and, dear God rest his soul, but he passes away no more than about a decade or so later. And if you think that's a coincidence, well, I just don't know what to tell you. Cut to present day. Nobody's allowed down there. Can't even approach the vicinity of the continent. And the Antarctic colony is still thriving as they've been for, thousands of years.
What happened to all the Anunnaki and Thoth and all them?
They had 2 wars. The first Pyramid War almost eradicated them, but they started over again. The second Pyramid War, bad. That one almost decimated the planet. You see how when you look at Earth, like from Google Earth, you see a lot of those big deserts going across. People say, oh, that's just natural geological formations over time. This has become an arid desert. No, that's war. If you go to Egypt and stick your hand deep in the sands, eventually you're going to come up with balls of glass. How can you get glass and sand? 3,000 plus degree temperatures. You go to Mohenjo-Daro in the Indus Valley, what are you going to see there? Dead bodies still in the streets from thousands of years ago, still holding hands, never been scavenged. The buildings that they lived in turned to glass. How can that be? We're talking about 3,000 plus degree temperature weapons fire. We're talking about this war that happened in the ancient past. Amun-Ra wanted to continue he started the first war to take over the earth early because he didn't want to wait for his processional period to rule. And then this is the guy who says you must say amen after everything. Say amen. Everything you give thanks for, you're saying amen to him. So when you say amen, you're thanking him, by the way. He started one war to take over early, which he won.
Yeah.
He then started a second war to stay in power. And in that second war, he escaped. He was almost killed. But he left his kingship and the finances of the kingdom to the Ra-Kam. And R-A-K-A-M. But that translates into modern words. Kam translates into childs. So now you translate Ra, childs, Ra, child.
Oh!
There's a theory that the Hoover Dam is secretly a demonic throne and that the government put angels there to cover it up. When you go to the Hoover Dam, you're gonna see something really odd. There's a spot that has 2 giant winged statues made out of bronze. They look like angels, right? They are technically called the winged figures of the Republic, but this is the weird part. No one officially says what they are. They're not angels, they're not demons, they're figures. And that's not random. There's actually a floor underneath them that is a cosmic map. It shows the exact alignment of the stars the day that the dam was completed. Like they wanted aliens or gods to find this later. You'd think it's just some artsy little design, right? But the guy who made that design said that this is specifically supposed to last for thousands of years. That design was supposed to outlive our civilization. And this is where it gets a little darker. People also call this place the throne of the devil. But why would a dam need a cosmic star map and then 2 20, 30-foot bronze guardians? And then all of these occult looking type symbols. Well, get this. So over 100 workers died while building the Dam. And some people do believe that their bodies were sealed into the concrete and that they were considered to be sacrifices to bless the sculpture. And then, on top of all of this, the location of these statues don't really make any sense. Like, why would they have these big designs at a power plant? And if you're religious, you also have to remember Satan was originally an angel. Another crazy thing to note is that the Hoover Dam has been featured in dozens of end-of-the-world movies, disaster scenes, and games. It has always been the center of destruction and secret technology. And then it's like, is that a coincidence, or is it programming for us to see it as the key to something? Even the name Hoover comes from a president who was involved in major US power shifts, literal power and electricity. And this makes you wonder if the government is trying to hide in plain sight. Massive monuments with spiritual symbolism built into them. Government approved, celebrated, protected, and most of us never even question it. So when you pass by and you take a little selfie, you don't even realize you are standing on what some call a throne. But the question remains, a throne for who exactly? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and follow for more.
In the Garden of Eden, it was actually Edin, right? And Enlil, he was known Yahweh. He was known as Satan, the Lord of Eden. Satan, the Lord of Eden. And Eden was an outside laboratory. And in this laboratory, when you read these texts, even some of the apocryphal texts, like the book of Adam, which was left out of the Bible, you discover that this was a mating ground. So they would start. So what happened first was they began with genetically modified people that were almost like clones. And the information on the cloning technique is at the Temple of Karnak in Africa, in Egypt, where I take people. And so they were making these people, but they couldn't make them fast enough, and these people couldn't have and reproduce on their own. So they got very frustrated. So ISIS says, okay, I have an idea. I'm going to take the egg out of one of the beings and put it in my womb and take it to term. So it says in the text that they literally mixed their genetics with this egg, put it in her womb, takes it to term for 10 months, and then gives birth to the Adamu, which means first man. This starts the generations of ISIS, the generations of ISIS, the Genesis, the Genesis.
Ooh, and Genesis is obviously the first book of the Old Testament.
Yes.
I'm doing the math right now.
Bro, have you ever wondered why pigs have eyes that look like human eyes? I guess their eyes do look like human eyes. No, why? This might blow your mind, and I read it somewhere. So you know how in the Bible Jesus casted out a legion of demons into pigs? They didn't want to go to hell, so he casted them into pigs? Wait a minute. Is that why Jesus calls pork filthy? I'm not sure, but something else. Pigs aren't able to look up into the sky. Their bodies won't allow them to look up. Almost like it implies they can't look up to heaven. Okay, whoa. And it's not just that. This next one's going to sound weird. I know it's going to sound weird. But they have interviewed cannibal serial killers before, and when asked what human flesh tastes like, they say it tastes like pork. Wait, so you're trying to say that pigs are actually